So we have our brakes functioning in the back, and one of the issues I was having up here with my pedal, because I had done a real quickie changeover of my brake pedal back when I was in Minnesota shortly before we moved, because I was hoping to get it so I could drive it into the trailer, which didn't happen. I switched over from my wood stove shaker grate handle to a meat processing grinder handle, and it was very quick. And what it had been going through was this this plastic bushing, and it fit well here, but it was pretty sloppy fit down here in this bracket. And this bracket is modified from the original Montgomery Ward riding mower, and it only has, if you look at this real close here, you can see it only has a very small lip in there that it actually would ride on. So I wanted something more substantial and something that wasn't going to float around and wobble so much. So I came up with these bronze bushings, and I re-drilled these holes here so that they fit right in. Now this is a press-in fit. See if I can get it to go in all the way here. And that's a good thing, because we don't want it sliding around. There we go. There. That one's all the way in now. And then if we put our one from the outside here on, that one's not quite so tight, but you can see that now that I have it in place, there ain't no shake at all in that shaft, and that's what we want. So now my question is it still going to fit on there with that bushing that way? I might have to shave down the lip on that bushing a little bit for this still to be able to function properly. Let's see. If I get it up in there. There we go. And I just got to get the hole to line up properly. And then this stainless steel screw goes down through. And it just fits in there like that. And then our brake pedal is going to go on here. Yeah, and I can see I need to do a little bit of shaving on this, because this part of the sleeve is a little bit thicker than it was before. So I think what I'll do is I'll take a little shaver off of this edge here so that slides in further. So there we are. I took a little bit off of the flange on the bushing, and I took a little bit off of the pedal, as you saw, and that's how that works. I'm not really happy with slop in that. I put bolts down through here. The reason I had so much slack in my pedal before was because the stainless steel screws I was using, they're threaded all the way down. So the thread is not exactly 1/4 of an inch thick. But when you get a bolt that's long enough that it has the main shank of it is not threaded, that part is actually 1/4 of an inch. So we've got nut bolts through both sides, and we got little chrome caps to go on there. While we have 2 lights down here, those are just running lights. We only have 1 brake light up here. That will also have a running light in it. It's got 3 wires, I believe. I got to double check. It's been a long time since I mounted it even. But yeah, you can see that's mounted on an old wrench off of my roll bar, and the wire comes out through the back here, goes down through this piece of tubing which came off of a light fixture, and then the wiring comes down all the way down in here and comes out. Yeah, see, there's 3 wires there. Comes out the side of my roll bar, and then it comes down through, and it comes down in here. So yep, and this is the wire that I have set up. And once we get my switch hooked up, then I can hook this up, and that will make my brake light actually work. So let me tinker with that a bit and see what I can come up with for a bracket to mount the switch on, and also a plate to stop it. Well, here we are. We have it mounted up. I still got a little finish work to do. The nut on the back side of this is interfering so that my pedal wasn't working quite right, so that's why that screw is backed out. But it functions. See that? And not only that, I have it hot wired to the back, so you can see that it will actually work. Okay, now you keep your eyes open on that light. Look at that puppy, huh? That thing is working. Yes, sirree, Bob. So all I gotta do is, well, I can't finish up my wiring at the moment because I don't have the battery properly hooked up, because, well, I've got everything disconnected, and I just hot wired this puppy right here for that purpose, for testing the light. And that one there, I do have my ground strap hooked up where it goes permanently there and up to there. So all that works, but you can see I've got these wires hanging out here, and there's more hanging out on the other side. So, and I've got to run this wire here inside, which will come all the way up, and it will hook onto one of these, and the other one will be a hot wire to the battery. Actually, it'll be a hot wire to the ignition side of my ignition switch, so that when I turn it on, there'll be power to the brake lights. That way the brake lights won't be able to function unless I have the key turned on. So yeah, so we're good to go there. And of course we have our brakes working here. I stuck my wheels on, but they don't have the don't have keyways in them, and neither does my brake pad. Neither does my brake rotor. It doesn't have the thing on it. But you can see now my bracket for holding this puppy all in there. Yep, it's all welded up, and it's got a extra gusset down underneath to stiffen things up. I think it's going to work just dandy. So yeah, that's where we're at today. Nice to have the wheels back on, even if it was just for test fitting purposes, but I'll have to be taking them off again, putting them back on again. But we're working at it, having the brake lights working and the brakes all working. It's a big piece of the puzzle. Thanks again for watching, commenting, and for subscribing. Thanks for the thumbs up too. Till next time, this is George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man. Bye for now. After losing my door closer in the storm we had last week, I decided I better put a latch on here. And what better thing to put on than a wrench from Montgomery Ward's, which is what the base of the Goofy card is. Yeah, a Montgomery Ward's rider from long ago. Hi, Maisie. How are you? She's getting really, really fat. I'm expecting maybe next week she's going to have some babies.